and I disagreed with it at the time, but council decided to set the amounts at that. So, that's what council decided. I did have it we did bring it back to reevaluate the price, but you kept it the same, so.
Councillor Edwards?
Is there a way we can look into a cheap printer? Have we done that?
There is a lot of cheaper printers out there.
Yeah.
If I can pick up a couple of points that I've raised there. Councillor Hogg said £60 is too expensive, or was deemed to be too expensive. And what was the cost now you were selling them at?
Sorry?
What was the cost now you were selling them at?
It was, off the top of my head, it was £25 for half a page, I think it was.
£25 for half
So
a page.
£25 for half a page.
£20 for a quarter and £15 for an eighth.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah.
Which I suggested when we initially did it much higher prices, because that's peanuts compared to,
If £60 was too expensive and the figure was dropped down to £25, how many adverts did you get for that?
I got 3, 4.
Per month? Or
I did
overall?
get 1 month. I did have 3 inquiries, but then of course I did it on the first basis of that one came first, sort of thing.
I just use sales, not inquiries. How many sales in the first month?
First month was a half a page advert.
One, so it's £125. But no others. The
Well, the top of my because you're going back
so
a few years now.
if £60 too expensive and only one advert was sold at £25, surely then it's a model, a financial model that isn't working. On that, I just want a couple of points here. What was the purpose of the Downs Mail advertising that we had? Because I wasn't here then when we used to do the Downs Mail.
The Downs Mail was information from our meetings as well as other news.
A lot of the time it's some of these, the newsletters and the things is designed for, and obviously invite people to come along all the time. And in the 2 years that I've been here, with all due respect to all the people that come to us regularly all the time, there hardly seems to be more and more and more people coming. Now you'd have thought that if you put a newsletter out and a web page, and we keep asking people to come along, there's still the same people come along, and no new people are coming along, and sometimes it's dwindling down to a handful of people, then something's not working. What is the objective? And that was what I was just talking about there, the objective of a newsletter or the Downs Mail would be obviously to gain income, which it's not doing, and it's not just not doing over this last month. It's historical data, and as we pointed out before the beginning, when we were talking about the road situations and about the pollution and the hospital, the college practice, where we need data all the time to do something with. We actually have data here showing that we've had it for 2 years, and it's cost the taxpayer, yourself, and the other of the members, it's cost them a lot of money to do what? To make a loss of the advertising and put a couple of bits of information which are readily available on Google or the local newspapers anyway. And I can't, for me personally, I can't see that it's a really good way to spend taxpayers' money when the information that we're going to supply on this is available and it's making a loss to your very selves. And if you look at that data over 2 years, it's categoric that the model that we're using at the moment and the pricing structure isn't working.
But the Downs Mail you paid out and you got nothing back.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right.
Has anybody pushed
And
for advertising?
because it was like a
With-
newspaper, people
with-
didn't keep it, whereas
With
the newsletter you keep right there on your desk. Because
Yeah. With the
it's good
technological
news.
advances that we have nowadays in the 20th century, most people have the computers or smartphones or access to things like
I
that.
was going to suggest maybe
We have a web
obviously
page.
Facebook, you know.
We have the Facebook, We have
Yeah,
the
but-
web page.
But some people,
Yeah, but
that's-
some people can't get out. But perhaps some of them can't get out, and perhaps some of them like to have a newsletter.
Yes.
Some
Yeah.
of them-
Yeah.
Sorry, could I ask the public to
Yeah.
please keep the voice down? This is, while it is a public meeting, we are having a debate. Thank you.
I understand that, but obviously, we are getting into the 22nd century, and obviously Facebook and the internet is the way ahead, and
I
it possibly reaching out to
totally agree with what you're saying. Now, I totally agree with what you're saying, but it has to be, as I mentioned before with roads and with other bits and pieces, there has to be a benefit to cost ratio. Yes, there are people out there that haven't got these facilities of a smartphone and computers. Yes, there will be. And there'll always be people that send snail mail as opposed to email. There always will be. Until obviously the much older generation start dying off, and then maybe in 100 to 200 years' time, then when it all changes, you see, it all goes in a different way. Thomas Cook closes because people don't really go to the high streets anymore, because the high streets have been decimated. If we can sort of move along, if it's going that way, it's going that way. So to cater for just a handful of people and to make a loss for the majority of the people, I think it's unwise to charge intellectuals.
Can I just say something
You
here?
certainly can, yeah.
Because I am getting a bit irate about it.
So am
I haven't got a computer. I haven't got a smartphone. I'm not probably clever enough to do them.
No,
So when I have that letter through my door, let me know what's going on. I'm very happy to sit there and read that and know what's going on. Now, we pay for the parish council, so why can't I have something from that parish council
Me too.
for the money that I pay?
What if we ask people
Yeah.
which they prefer, Facebook or a paper news?
Say that.
Yeah,
Do
which-
you know-
Facebook.
I'm just wondering if there isn't a happy medium here, and that is maybe if you're shaking your head, but my mind goes over as you guys discuss. I'm kind of thinking that is there not a way that maybe if we did an online newsletter, however, people could, like yourselves, who I'm sure you are clever enough to use a smartphone, but like yourselves that don't have access to that technology, could register their interest with the parish council and say, could I please have that printed and sent to me? Now, as clerk, there's probably a handful of people in the parish that would want that, and I'd be more than happy to do that. But I'm just kind of trying to think, do you see what I'm saying, Mr. Chairman?
Could I interject, Mr. Chairman? Can I just say that that's what happens at my daughter's school, that the majority of it's all done by email, but obviously they do respect that not every parent or guardian is on the email, so there's always paper copies available for people that want them, but on the bulk, they're trying to be environmentally friendly and send them all out by email, the newsletters.
Maybe then there's a possibility of doing a one-off newsletter to the whole community. It's putting that into exactly as you say, putting that into the people that haven't got that facility, that we can post them, because it'll be a lot cheaper for the council, that we can actually post to you that particular letter, the letter, and everybody else then can receive the email. I mean, ourselves as the council, I receive email copies of everything, and some people have paper copies. So you're absolutely right. And obviously to cater for everybody, that will be a good compromise, I believe so.
Is that better?
Is that,
Perhaps we should.
would that be?
Yeah, as long as I get information on paper, I don't care where it comes from, as long as I get it.
It won't be handwritten or anything, don't worry.
Perhaps we should send out one last newsletter
Yeah.
saying what we could do to help people. We would ask them, A, do they want it sent to them by hand? Do they want it by
Electronically.
internet?
Yeah.
Then we get a reply back. We would then find out how many people will want it by hand or
Good
the
idea,
internet.
actually. Because the other thing you will have as well, instead of having councillors deliver 200 newsletters, you'll have a councillor maybe only have to deliver 3.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they're all volunteers,
And
you
we
know?
maybe,
Oh, I'm quite happy to. I do the whole of Bridgman.
and then maybe we could
right.
drop with the newsletter. If it was an
Okay.
official newsletter, we could then maybe drop the price of the advertising right down and have a 5-page electronic.
It's a good idea.
Perhaps
And
have
then
one
sell them
newsletter a year.
for £2 or £3. Then you might have in the Tovil Parish Council 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 or 10 advertisers, but we're doing it electronically.
We'll say the VCS do it that way as well.
We could do a lovely one for Christmas, coming up to the Christmas period, and putting it out there as that suggestion. Do you want a hard copy? Do you want this? And the people.
I would say I have to give it. I would like to say, I would like to give it a continuation, make up the committee, and see if the committee or the newsletter progress it. If we can't progress it, then obviously we've tried our best, and then we can then come back to the drawing board and say it ain't working.
So I think there's two options on the table.
Yeah.
The one that the clerk and myself suggested, and the one that the vice chairman suggested. So we can obviously take a vote on both of them. I think councillor, the vice chairman's motion, if I read it correctly, was to carry on with the newsletter regardless, to see for a period of.
What we'll do every quarter, do it for the next two quarters, twice.
But within,
Try it.
within that, we could say, would you like to sign up via email?
Do a
That was
last
what
minute,
suggested,
do a last
is it?
minute newsletter.
Well, what I will say is if you meet as a working party, you can decide to put what you want in it, within reason, do you know
Well,
what I mean? But it's just about, I mean, like, bless her, Councillor Hogg worked so hard on it, and I
Yes.
just feel there's a lot on her shoulders,
Yes.
a hell of a lot
Yeah.
on her shoulders, and while I appreciate, yeah, you've
She
delivered
does
the
it
whole
all,
bridge
and then all
mill,
of a sudden people start ringing up and saying, we want this, we
Yeah.
want that, we want this, we want that.
whereas
And
if,
she's going, hold on a minute, then all of a sudden somebody says, that ain't spelled right, that ain't right. She's doing it over and over again, so she just does a lot of work.
No, I have the opposite. No one gives me much of anything, so I have to come up with it myself, actually.
Yeah.
And then people pick it apart.
but if you've got 4 people working with you, or 3 people working with you, you know, for argument's sake, the vice chairman might come in and say, oh, I've been approached by so-and-so, they want a story, or they want an advert, you know, it gets it out there a bit more.
I think we could find out how popular it is if we did the option of sending the beautiful Christmas one out,
Yeah.
putting it on the website as well,
Mhm.
and putting the option of. Now, when we get the replies back, that will give us an indication of how popular it is.
Yeah,
And don't forget, the more popular it is, the more you can charge
exactly.
for advertising. And if it isn't popular, then we're not going to get any advertising revenue out of it. Then the previous 2 years will stand up with it, so we can actually have different ways, like yourself, of informing of what's going on in the community.
Yeah, I would go for that. I think it's a good thing.
So I don't know how we're going to.
Well, I like to propose that we carry on with it, get 3 people together, sort the newsletter out and try to get some advertising and see if we can make it work.
Before we go to the vote, can I have a name vote, please? Thank you.
So I think it could work, I really do, because we're here for the people of Tovil. We're there for constituents, nothing else. And if we can,
You've also got to make it
and if we can make it good,
cost effective.
where they think, where they know, hey, they are helping us.
But there is some people that can't have, like I said, haven't got the gadgets and gizmos, and they rely on
Just give
them,
it one more time.
and they
for
rely on
Christmas.
themselves.
Get the feedback, put the ultimatum in saying, do you want email? Ultimatum.
Choice, yeah. That's basically what I
I'm
said.
totally with you,
Yeah.
Clark.
It's basically what I said, is the motion is obviously, I think, as I read it correctly, you want to, one more time, a beautiful Christmas one,
Yeah.
with the options on there, that should we carry on,
And
should, to put it to the people again.
That's it.
Shall we carry on? Would you like an electronic copy on the website, or would you like it delivered to your door?
Would be nice if for some people that haven't got the technology to have it delivered, because
Yeah.
That's what we're saying,
it.
That's
that
what we're
we
saying.
want that balance.
That's what we're
that
saying.
If
Yeah.
they come back, so, I don't know, say,
because I've got to be honest, with some of them as well, I've got no idea, I'm
You know.
clueless on
So
gizmos and gadgets.
so with the recommendation of 3.2, and I think we can sort of, the way we're saying it at the moment,
let's
I think we can sort of, yeah, we think we're scrapping that one,
Yeah.
about knocking it out of the park.
Yeah.
But we really want to sort of have a look at this Christmas. Now, would any of the councillors, and obviously there's new council and there's councillors away as well,
yeah,
would we be happy to sort of put our input to give Councillor Hogg so much information that it causes a massive problem because you've got too much information?
well, no, I think
Oh,
it's
this is
Could we
not
not all
in
go
it,
on
so-
that committee?
Right?
Could we not all go on that committee, or do you have to have a minimum for the 3 parties?
No, because it's not a committee,
It's not a committee,
it's what's called the working party.
it's a sort of
A
a
working
party.
party, could we not have everyone on the working party then?
I can't
And
see
an
any
opt-out?
reason why not.
That's down to you
I
guys.
can't see any reason why
I'd
not.
like to see that.
we'd like to see us all in a working party, and therefore it gives everybody the opportunity, so they come up with little snippets, and just keep firing them, so she has too much. No, too much information to put in, then she can collate it right down and whatever it is.
I mean, any of them options.
Well, I think at the moment,
Did you want to
she's,
get any sleep
she's
tonight?
trying to do it all herself, and, well,
But with certain work parties, I'm pretty sure even two or three can get together, and I would like, if it's alright with you, Abigail, I'd like to go around and see if we can't advertise it and sell it. How's that?
So if we have
Thank
one
you
more,
very much.
can we say
Bit
that?
better.
we'll review it?
Can we go outside again?
That's
A little
one
bit
at a
about
time.
housing?
Let's-
Alright, yeah. I need
That's a
it.
new one.
Although we've got a few shops within,
You're still
a few,
hungry.
you know,
Yeah.
businesses
Oh,
within
yeah,
it, and we've got a few
Oh, well.
outs just outside boarding, haven't we?
who would pay for that in the advertising when they know
If it's cheap enough.
it's not, well, if it's not, if they know it's not going to their area.
I understand.
Not going to the catchment area, like for instance, the codfibre, I don't know, it's still called the codfibre.
Is, yeah.
He wouldn't advertise in Shepley because his catchment area is Tovil, so maybe not.
Yeah.
But I propose then, that we scrap 3.2, that we go for it provisionally for the Christmas edition,
Yeah.
with all chipping
Yeah.
to give content, with the caveat that if, with the addition of giving the residents a choice
Yes.
of electronic or paper copies, and to see what sort of advertising we can generate out of it, whether it be a 1 page or 2 page or whatever, to see what sort of revenue to actually spark it into life again. If we're going to make a profit out of it, we carry on. If it doesn't make a profit at this time, at this Christmas time, then we have to seriously consider scrapping it.
Yeah.
Yeah, would that be acceptable to everybody? Well, I'll propose that as a motion.
I second it.
Could you guys just slow down a second, because I've got to do a name to vote on this, so just...
Well, I propose it. Vice Chairman's seconded it. All those in favour?
Sorry, what were you voting on again? Because I got...
Christmas newsletter.
We're going to
Christmas newsletter,
put the
right?
newsletter out, and we're going to see how much revenue it generates with the advertising. But we're also going to put on the newsletter, well, you're going to put on the newsletter, the option to residents to have the paper copy or the electronic website copy.
Right.
That way, and obviously you have the facility then to sell advertising on the web that are much cheaper, but a lot more of it. So it could be a 5-page newsletter with a lot of advertising. Then obviously the paper copy people that we deliver to, and the other ones just go away. You just see how it goes to see the reaction or the amount of income that we can get out of the Christmas newsletter. If it's profitable, we carry on. If it's not, we're not automatically cancelling it. We
Right, okay, because I
review.
was going, yeah, I was up to you until, yeah.
Bless her.
When you
Yeah.
said cancelling it after the
No, review.
Xmas one,
Reviewing.
I'm against that. But I'm up to you with the asking for the electronic
Yeah,
browser.
we're not cancelling afterwards.
Reviewing it.
After we see what income we get, we review it. If it
Right,
makes a
okay,
small
review.
loss, a very small loss, and it's acceptable, then obviously if there's a lot more information, there's a potential to grow.
Yes.
There's a potential to grow. But if it's making a huge loss again, either in manpower or money, then we have to seriously review it and consider it. So that was my thing. It was,
Yeah,
yeah,
we propose it, I second
both
it.
seconded it. All those in favour?
So I've got Councillor Jess, Councillor Hicks, oh, it's unanimous, you've all decided it, it's fine. I don't need to go now, but I will down you all. Sorry, Councillor Hogg, would you mind just confirming the deadline date for the Christmas newsletter again for me, please?
I'd have to work that out now.
That's
To be
all right.
honest.
If you can work it out and let me know, and I'll circulate it to councillors. Thank you. Item number 17 is void because it's chairman, vice chairman, and one other, Paul.
Right. Or will be.
You automatically are
The
elected.
item
Yeah.
17 has been reconciled. Item number 18, the road safety project. Now, this is where I declared an interest in the, I declared an interest, over here. I declared an interest in it because it's on my website. We talked a little bit about when we have these big infrastructure projects in the community, all the small infrastructure projects, when we have the money for SIL, section 106 I think goes straight to NBC, but when we have the SIL money, we're looking at the wish list of something we'd like to do with it, or something we may want, but it's out of our budget, but it's, at least we can sort of look at the stuff. One of the things I've come up with, and I'd like actually your help if you don't mind, Mr. Walter, the zebra crossing that you've got in East Farley, that East Farley had to pay for in the end.
There wasn't a zebra crossing, it was traffic calming. We got a coloured junction, yeah.
The traffic calming.
Yeah.
I believe it was in the region of about £70,000.
The whole scheme, yeah, it runs near enough about 2 miles. It starts on the West Farley border, right up to here. That includes the 40-mile-an-hour roundels and the by Priory Close. You got the highlighted 40, so there's quite a lot in it.
It's all them. How much of that was the TO, if I could ask, the traffic order?
The traffic order. I could get that information for you, but I think actually Paulina Stockwell actually underwrote that, and the devolved grant, she helped us out with traffic surveys and some of the extra costs, you know.
Yeah.
So I think she actually probably paid for that.
Okay.
But we kept the costs down because we delivered the letters ourselves. We had to have 2 consultations, one to borrow the money. That was 1 year, and then when we had the plans had to go a consultation. We had to put a letter through for every house to explain what we was doing, how the plans could be viewed and everything else to give the feedback. So that did save some costs for us delivering our own letters.
Right. Well, one of the items, apart from Mr. Mallinson who was here today talking about the Barrow Brown Lane and the problems with the incessant problems we have of the parking, and obviously nobody can walk down there, then we have the traffic problems. With that, you just can't get past, especially when the tip's in operation. We have the Archbishop Courtney School, just down the road in our patch. We also have the Lidl, the Tesco's and the Dodge Trust and the other places. With that, the big hill, and people do race down there. Did you have any information?
I do, yes. It is the 3 traffic areas was down on Tovil Hill, Tovil Road, where the Pelican Crossing is. The other area is in the dip, down Farley Hill, Tovil Hill, and there's also Cripple Street was raised as an issue. This is all from the neighbourhood plan meeting in January.
Neighbourhood plan meeting, yeah, and the crash map is obviously, the crash map only shows fatal accidents and serious accidents, so KCC don't really want to do anything with the roads unless it's proven with data again, and that something is, it's honestly, it's crazy. You have to have data, you have to show how many people are killed before that should do something.
Yeah, exactly.
It's after the doors.
Let's hope one of them don't get killed then.
Well, I'm saying nothing. Could be on camera. One of my wish lists, and it has been since 2014, is for a complete southern ring road. I've gone into a lot of work about it. It solves a lot of problems, especially the air pollution in the town centre, and so on and so forth. But looking closer to home, looking in the Tovil Parish area, we do have speeding traffic up and down, like I mentioned, where the Lidl is and the up and down there, past the school. Lots of near misses on them pedestrian. It's not a pedestrian crossing. It's like a pelican. I think it's a pelican crossing. There where they've got the new traffic lights at the bottom of Courtney Road or Forest Hill, whichever one it is. One of my wishes were to have painted 3D crossings. Now I did raise at the beginning the interest because it's on my website, and anybody could go to my website to see. But I have actually got pictures here of how a 3D crossing done properly would look, and obviously I appreciate what you had wasn't a crossing. I raised this issue with Councillor Paul Cooper back in 2015, and we was going to trial it out, although at the time under the current leader of KCC, it wasn't given the go-ahead, and he wasn't prepared to spend any of his KCC members' grant into doing such a a scheme up in Lewes. If you just pass these around and have a look what it actually looks like when it's done properly. While that's going round, to that end, the crossings are in Iceland, South Africa, China, New Zealand, and in lots of places, and they've been actually proven to slow traffic down. To slow traffic down, they actually alter your perspective as you're driving towards them. They flatten out. But they've got to be done specifically, and especially in a high contrast. You have to high contrast the paint.
Good idea. It's very going to
What did you, when you were approached the council, did you get any like backing from them?
So,
Yes, yes, there was.
if anybody follows music and knows who the Beatles are, I'm sure people do. Yeah, the crossing at Abbey Road.
Yes.
Yeah, the crossing at Abbey Road was done in this fashion around about 8 months ago. Westminster City Council have done it as a first trial, and it's been that successful, they rolled out another 3 in the City of Westminster. So I inquired with Westminster City Council, and so I shall read you the email I sent. I won't give that for GDRP reasons, I won't give out their email. Reference 3D painted crossings in St John's Wood High Street, London. Dear Sir, Madam, I am writing to you in my official capacity as Vice Chairman of Tovil Parish Council, in the hope that Westminster City Council could possibly share with us any results so far in respect of the crossings mentioned above. As a local Maidstone Parish Council, we are in the process of formulating our neighbourhood plan, and as such are discussing at full council meetings how best to use our share of the community infrastructure levy that this plan would bring for the benefits of our residents. I've been aware of this type of crossing since circa 2014, and I've personally lobbied members from Kent County Council for a chance to trial this type of crossing in Maidstone. The outcomes of this lobbying have been normally negative due to financial pressures on the County Council. Ideally, I would like to bring some information to our full council meeting on the 14th of October, today, in order to debate and vote on a motion that, with the permission of KCC, our parish council are willing to fund a trial of 3D crossings in our particular parish. Please may I politely request any data gathered so far relating to use, speed reduction achieved, information on costings, including or excluding TOs, which is the traffic orders, which you have to pay for, together with the painting plans, the type of paints, and contractors able to survey and deliver a project of this nature in Kent. Any such information given will be, of course, held in the strictest confidence and only used in an official capacity at a full council meeting in order to brief councillors as to the merits of such a project funded by SIL, which is why that hasn't gone on my website, because it's only Friday. And the reply that I got from the network coordinator of the City Highways Westminster City Council. Dear Councillor Wooding, thank you for your inquiry regarding 3D painted crossings in Westminster. Please see below for the information you require. We undertook the 3D zebra crossing on the basis of a trial, as it does not conform to current guidance as yet. In specific relation to the light-dark contrast, that's the only thing it doesn't adhere to at the moment, the light-dark contrast to show a 3D, which is the first bit and the second bit. The basis of the trial is following similar 3D installations around the world, most notably in Iceland, where the installation has drawn large media attention. We're also fortunate enough to have a design engineer who had worked on similar 3D crossings throughout New Zealand. Monitoring and inspection has been ongoing following installation, and to date we have no incidents reported whatsoever. Road safety audits have also formed part of the review, and we are near the completion stage 3 audit, so they're going to give me that information when they get to the stage 3 audit. We will be concluding a detailed report in the coming months, outlining the trial and outcomes observed with any recommendations. These will be forwarded to the Department for Transport for further consideration. Westminster City Council has installed a further 3 3D crossings at different locations within our council, including a crossing on a one-way road affording a modified design. Costs are comparatively low as we use a pre-formed thermoplastic sheets which are of detailed size and colour. Installation only requires a heat lance to bond the material to the carriageway surface, and it's very quick, simple and easy. It can be done in literally half an hour. Done. The TO is, you need cones, you don't really, well, you're allowed to have TO, but the cones. One piece of advice is that at this stage it is to ensure sufficient contrast of the 3D element. These are the side and approach panels. Please do not hesitate to contact us if you have any further questions. So that's a sort of where I'm going with to use our SIL money with the thermoplastic models, which can be used with a heat lance, very cheap, easy to manufacture, and for them to be, for the KCC themselves to adhere to. All we need is a regulation TO to change it either from a pelican to a zebra crossing, or to put them in as road safety measures. But obviously we'll have to have lots of liaison, which with the clerk and probably Cal would help us with to do that. But there are several locations, not only in our parish. If they were successful, very much similar to the Westminster City Council, if they get the stage 3 audit and it's showing exactly what it's meant to show, like it has done in a lot of countries all over the world, if that's the case, it could be rolled across the whole of Kent and UK. A lot of other people could take it on, but Tovil Parish Council could be the pioneers to have brought it out of the metropole, out of the city, into the rural areas, and we could be one of the first. That's my idea of how we could possibly use SIL. There are many other ways, and obviously I'm open to suggestions, which is what it's all about, is to find out when we come to the consultation stage how anybody else feels about using the sort of money that we may get from these developments. Any questions?
I think it's an excellent idea. I just don't want a situation where you spend that sort of money and it's, as the porter would probably tell you, people know it's there and continue to speak.
Have you seen if you go onto Google and have a look at the videos of them actually operating, videos from the dash cam from lorries going up to them, it's absolutely unbelievable. They're not like what you had there. It looks like a sort of a speed bump. Where it mentions at the bottom with the Westminster City Council we apply, the contrast from the along Dean Street, the red and the black, the contrast is hardly any. With the pictures that I have there, the contrast is stark, and it has to be stark to make sure that 3D, it looks 3D. It's very clever, very ingenious, and like I said, China, Norway, Iceland, New Zealand, a lot of countries in the world now are going, whoa, this is great, because it actually slows traffic down.
Do you have any figures at all?
No, this is what I'm...
Apart from obviously...
there is, you can get the figures on the internet, but I thought, rather than getting the data, general data about different countries, I wanted to get the data from London. I wanted to get data on people who drive on the left, people who drive our sort of cars, in our sort of weather, and our sort of darkness and lightness, our sort of how we operate. And I wanted to get them figures, which is why I went to Westminster City Council. They've been very compliant with me, and they've asked for much more dialogue with me, and I'll be looking forward to sharing with you all the stage 3 results. It won't go into the web at all, so it's for here. It's to see the sort of our information of what we may think. But I think personally, if the results come back, and like I said, it's been there quite a while now, and no incidents have occurred whatsoever, people are more inquisitive as they drive towards it, more, whoa, I want to see what this is, and so they're slowing down to see what's. They're aware then of pedestrians and of cyclists and of other road users. In fact, next to a school, that can only be a good thing. Yeah. That's my idea of how to use seal money, but I'm open to, we're not actually in that part of the thing yet, but obviously,
No, can the clerk just email about, a bit about that list for seal, so if anyone
That's
else.
on the local plan, isn't it?
No, what, the seal money?
Yeah.
What, the wish list?
Yes.
That's not down to me, it's down to you guys.
Sounds like-
You're elected, I
that was
can't
my
pick.
idea.
That's not
Yeah,
my,
oh right.
No.
So
No one,
Oh right.
last meeting we discussed seal projects,
Yes.
yeah? What you guys wanted, and the chairman said I'd like this traffic crossing. The
Yes.
chairman's asked me to write a letter to Westminster City Council for him, and I did it, and
no, I wrote it.
you wrote it.
amended
It's, I'll tell you what, it's a working, you know, we work as a team, we do well in. And we did it, and he's gone away, he's got the data, and that's basically, with the seal money, that's what you need
You
to
need
do.
data.
Yeah.
Before KCC listens to me, you need to have hard and fast numbers and going, this is what it does, this is what it doesn't do. Yeah, if we get that, we've got backup of numbers behind us.
Yeah.
If you just go there and go, I'd like one of these please, and they just go away.
The examiner will look round and go, why is that in your plan? Demonstrate to me who's asked for it. Has the majority asked for it? No, you can't demonstrate that? Right, it's got to come out and we lose our crossing.
Yeah.
Will it work? Oh, well, I don't know. It's worked in Scandinavia. Well, it comes out. And that is how brutal they are.
Yeah.
And this is why. So it's like I
But,
said,
but yeah, but just
That's what's
fo-
got
following
there.
on to that, if it gets put in cheaply with the thermal lights and it's found to work, the rest of the UK will be crying out for it. And if it saves even only one life, we've done our job.
Yeah.
But it will save a lot more with the slowing down of the traffic
And schools, where
at the
schools
particular
are.
points where schools are.